Hey everybody, what's going on? Nexius here. Thanks for tuning in. So I just wanted to log on to the PTR, see how things are going, and we actually have some Windwalker changes. Now I must warn you guys, this is a really fresh PTR of the patch 8.1, whatever you want to call it. So there is going to be a lot of UI bugs. You guys will see, for example, here, it's not going to update every talent. As you can see, it's kind of like bugged out. But as soon as I start moving around, it does update, as you can see. So there is a bit of an issue right now on the PTR, which is to be expected. So bear with me here, have some patience, but we will be taking a look at some of the changes. We got some pretty big changes here. Reverse harm here is one example. Replaces Vivify, so you can heal a friendly target, so yourself or a target, and it's always a percentage, so it's never a base amount. 8% of their health and 100% of the amount we heal will actually hit somebody nearby within 5 yards. So this is very interesting because not only is it a heal, but it's also a damage tool. So let me give you guys an example here. Also, it's important to note that it does generate 1 chi and it does cost energy. So it's basically like an expel harm. Like, that's what it is. It's a slightly different expel harm. And I actually really like this. I think it's really cool. So here's an example of what you can do, right? Let's say this is my partner. I'm queuing Windwalker Death Knight with Demetrius. And there's a warrior right here, right? So we can heal Demetrius or ourselves. And within 5 yards, an enemy, so let's say a warrior or whatever is here, he's going to be taking damage. Now, assuming I heal for the full 8% on that target, that's going to be 8% damage to the warrior. Now, I guess that's going to be affected by damage reduction, plate. I don't know if it's going to be affected by plate. So, point is, it's 8% healing, and 100% of that damage will be dealt to the nearest enemy. So, we can do some pretty interesting damage with this. Here's something that's really interesting about this, is you can actually burst with this. I'm thinking about this right now as I'm talking. I just thought about it. So, it's a percentage-based, 8%. I don't know if that's going to be guaranteed 8% on enemies, but the reason why this is interesting is, let's say you can say leg sweep, right? You can say sun kick, and then you can expel harm, 8%, 8%, 8%. So I'm guessing that's going to not be 8% guaranteed damage, because the burst damage off reverse harm will just be ridiculous if that's the case. So I'm really interested to see how that works out. Pretty cool, though, I will say for sure. Let's see what else we have here, because I didn't look at every talent, so I'm kind of learning along with you guys. Tiger Eye Brew seems to be the same. Ride the Wind, I see a change here. It usually says 10-second cooldown increase, but it seems to be gone. Clears all snares from you when used and forms a path of wind in its wake, causing allies to stand in to have 30% movement speed. Okay, so they actually buffed it. They put it back to Legion. In Legion, it did not increase your Flying Serpent Kick cooldown. In Battle for Azeroth, they nerfed this talent and made it give a 10-second cooldown. So I never really used it because of the cooldown increase, but it looks like they decided to take that off. So Ride the Wind is just as good as it was in Legion once again. That's really great because now it's more viable to pick up. Disabling Reach, it's still the same. Alpha Tiger, this is a new one. Attacking new challengers with Tiger Palm fills you with the Spear of Zwen, granting you 30% haste for 8 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once every 90 seconds per target. Okay, that's really interesting. Now, here's what I'm wondering right away from this. First of all, I don't think it's going to be that good unless you're doing like a burst window. So let's say, for example, let's do an arena perspective. So we're speculating here, my friends. We are going to say, let's queuing 2v2 or 3v3. So you want to focus on one target. So if you're playing a composition where you train one target, let's say you're Windwalker DK and you only want to train the priest, what you can do is, let's say the priest is right here, right? And then you have his partner. What you want to do is you'll train the priest, and then when you're about to burst, before you leg sweep Storm, Earth, and Fire, you want to change targets, Tiger Palm, to activate the 30% haste. After that, you switch back to the priest, leg sweep, Storm, Earth, and Fire, and then do your thing, right? So that's basically what's going to happen is you'll be focusing one target. This talent is going to be built around one target if you are going to use it. You train one target, and then as soon as you want to burst, you want to quickly run over, hit somebody else, and then come back and then do your setup. The only issue with that is if people get used to this talent and it becomes like the #1 talent to use, people are going to know about this. So the second they see you swap over, they know what's going to be going on. So you got to be careful a little bit about that. It's not really big damage, it's haste, right? So it's not like mastery or agility or something like that. So it's really, I don't think, going to be that useful in arena. One idea I do have with this, though, stay with me here, is large scale. So you guys know Storm, Earth, and Fire, right? Storm, Earth, and Fire, you have this ability where you use it, and if you use it a second time, your spirits will attack your target. But if you don't use it a second time, what happens is your spirits will hit different targets constantly, right? That's how you quickly build up your spinning crane kick stacks. Where are they? Let's move down to where I'm blind. Spinning crane kick. Okay, see, the spinning crane kick's damage is increased by 10% for each unique target you strike. Well, what we usually do with this, if we want to build up the stacks quick in Legion and Battle for Azeroth, is we only press Storm, Earth, and Fire once, and then we start Tiger Paw and Blackout Kicking spam. And the reason why this is a big deal is because over here... Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so it doesn't stack. So it grants 30% haste for 8 seconds. The cooldown is on per target. So, okay, never mind. It doesn't work that great with Storm, Earth, and Fire. I was looking at some interesting synergy if it could stack, because you could get ridiculous stacking with Storm, Earth, and Fire with your spirits constantly hitting different targets. But never mind, scratch that. I should have paid attention better. So basically, even if it's like 5 targets or something in a rated battleground, you'll just be able to hit different targets consistently for the haste buff. So kind of good in a team fight like RBGs, but otherwise I don't think it's going to be that useful now that I think about it. Windwalker, this is also a new talent. When you or allies with your windwalking are snared, the snare is instantly removed and they become immune to snares for 4 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. That is really cool, and I think you guys already know what's going to be said here. Melee cleaves. So if I'm queuing DK, or I'm queuing Enhancement Shaman, or I'm queuing Ret, or whatever double melee, they basically get a free Tiger's Lust. And there's a cooldown on it, but it's like basically whenever you get snared. And the reason why this is cool is because this is tied to our passive over here. Allies around you within 10 yards have 10% increased movement speed, and every 30 seconds they get slowed, they're immune to them for 4 seconds. So training targets, here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Windwalker to be taken with some double melee cleaves, because a free Tiger's Lust without having to think about it is really awesome. New talent here, Pressure Points. Your Touch of Death also applies fatal wounds to the target, and if the target dies from Touch of Death's damage, or with Touch of Death active, the cooldown is reset. Hold on, let me reread this properly. Touch of Death applies fatal wounds to the target. If the target dies from Touch of Death's damage or with Touch of Death active, the cooldown is reset. And fatal wounds reduces healing. Wow. Wow. Holy. Okay. This is insane. I mean, technically it's not that insane, because usually once you kill a target in arena, you pretty much win the game anyway, right? So like the cooldown reset doesn't mean too much. However, in team fights, RPGs, Windwalkers can be really good in RPGs now, okay? I'm excited now for RPGs. What's going to happen is we're going to focus on a target, right? We're going to focus on a target, and first we should probably force a couple cooldowns, because if they don't die with Touch of Death, the cooldown's not reset. So we need to make sure we know we're going to get the kill. So once you know you're going to get the kill with Touch of Death, you go onto a target in the RBG team fight, you Touch of Death. This reduces the healing they take by 50%. It's like a sharpened blade from Arms Warrior. And then you nuke that target, he dies, Touch of Death is reset, and then you pick another target right after. So this is going to be very good for scoring kills. You just have to, the only issue is you have to make sure you get kills already. And that's kind of the downside to this, is because an Arms Warrior is still technically going to be better, because Sharpened Blade is a 45-second cooldown, I think, and it doesn't have any like big requirements to it, right? We are relying on resetting Touch of Death with this. But otherwise, really cool talent. Like, even though it may not be the most useful, I really like these kind of things. These things where they totally changed the gameplay of an ability, like Reverse Harm here. I almost said Expel Harm, basically the same thing. This totally changes Vivify. And this kind of changes Touch of Death. Like, this is a really interesting talent. So I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan. Alpha Tiger, I mean, I can see that being interesting in Battlegrounds or something. Like, these talents are a lot more interesting than what we have currently in 8.0. Turbo Fist, another good talent, or not good talent, another new talent. Fist of Fury now deals full damage to all targets hit. Reduces all targets' movement speed by 90%. And you parry all attacks while channeling Fist of Fury. Wow. Okay, that's a lot to talk about there. So this is good for cleaving. It's going to deal full damage to all targets hit. Unfortunately, this is not for PvE, so it doesn't mean that much. This is really only good for cleaving. So if we're facing a double melee and you want to do as much cleave as possible, I can see that along with reverse harm being quite useful. Since you're always in the range of double melee, which will not only allow reverse harm to do damage almost every time you cast it, while keeping one of your teammates alive, but on top of that, you'll be doing full damage with Fist of Fury. On top of that as well, you'll be reducing movement speed by 90%. So it's not a stun still, but 90% reduced movement speed can help you peel. So let's say I'm queuing Windwalker DK Resto Shaman, and we're facing Warrior Enhancement. They're probably going to want to go Courser, my Resto Shaman. So I want to slow them, but also do massive cleave damage to them. So Reverse Harm paired with Turbo Fist will be insane for slowing them, while also providing a lot of damage on our end as well. Reverse Harm is one of my favorite current abilities just by checking all these talents out. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be able to heal Courser while they're attacking him. And on top of that, they're taking big damage from that, assuming it's percentage based. I think that might be too strong if it is, but we'll have to see. It looks like Fortifying is still the same, right? 1.5 minutes, damage taken, yep, still the same. Grapple Weapon, they buffed it, 45-second cooldown instead of 1 minute. I did not notice that until now. So otherwise, those are the talents. Trinket and stuff I think are the same. Yep. Let's check out the regular talents here. So Chi Burst generates 1 Chi up to 2, so it's basically the same. Chi Wave looks basically the same. Eye of the Tiger, the same. Celerity reduces cooldown, same, and same. Energizing Elixir looks to be the same. I just want to check and see if it's off the global cooldown, so. Nope, still on the global cooldown, so it still sucks. Let's see. Tiger Tail Sweep, still the same. Ring of Peace, still the same. Good Karma, though, is changed, as you guys already knew from a while ago. 100% of the damage redirected is healed instead of 100% absorbed. So down here, still 50%. Let's see. Combo Strikes, Jade Wind, Zwen. It looks like they're all still the same. Serenity. Yep, looks like they're still the same. Dragon Punch, still the same. Every 2 Chi, yeah, that's still the same as well. They should really do something about Spiritual Focus. It doesn't seem that useful, to be honest. That pretty much covers talents. Do we know anything off abilities here? So let's take a look. Blackout Kick, Chi Wave, Jade. Oh, yeah, they did nerf Jade Lightning. They slightly reduced the attack power on it, I noticed. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh. We should check these talents here. I didn't check these. Okay, so these are basically the same as well. Okay, not changed. What are we missing here? Serpent Kick, still the same, still nerfed. Fist of Fury, still the same. Sorry if this is annoying you guys. Like, this is my first time checking, so I'm just showing you guys what's going on here. Paralysis, oh, come on, 30 seconds, please. Like, Blizzard, I don't know if you're not going to watch this. I'm not a popular YouTuber or anything like that, but if you were to see Paralysis here, 30 seconds, please. I don't want it to go to 15 seconds. I understand it was too strong, but 30 seconds is good. Actually, you know what? That doesn't even matter at this point because Fist of Fury stun still isn't in the game. I was going to say, if Fist of Fury stun still existed, 30 seconds is perfect because you line it up with your setups, right? You paralysis the target, you go to your kill target, you sweep, Chi Wave, whatever, Fist of Fury, or mini setups. Mini setups outside of leg sweeps is paralysis and a Fist of Fury stun. Like, I just want my old Windwalker playstyle back, Blizzard. Like, this is all I'm asking right here. 2 changes. All I'm asking. Fist of Fury stun comes back. I know it's probably too strong, so make it only stun your primary target. So, you guys know how Fist of Fury, right? It does full damage to your target and then half damage to everything else. Do that with the stun. It doesn't stun your secondary targets, but it does stun your primary. Please, that's all I'm asking for. I need the stun for setups, please. I need it. And then 30-second paralysis. It keeps it nerfed, which is more balanced than Legion, but at least it lines up with the setups. That's all I'm asking. 30-second paralysis, stun primary target on Fist of Fury. That's it. Asking for no more. I don't see it happening, but that's the dream. What else are we missing? Okay, this error is very annoying. Kick's the same. Spinning Crane Kick. It looks to be the same. Tiger Palm, the same. Yeah, I think everything is roughly the same here in terms of everything. Let's check Touch of Death. Okay, it looks to be the same pretty much. Just that talent is really what's changed. Transcendence, 10 seconds. Transcendence transfer, still 45. Okay, so they haven't really changed too much else, it looks like. I'm going to check the passives just in case. Okay, yeah. Okay, so most of the abilities are the same. It's just really talents that have been changed up, the honor talents. So I guess that covers the early PTR. If there are any big changes, I will leave a comment down below. So if like a month from now you just forget, or 2 weeks from now, whatever, just check the comment section. I'll have an update there most likely if there's a big change. But otherwise, looks like that's the current PTR state of Windwalker. Still pretty sad about it because it's still not the original Windwalker. For 6 years, we were able to control similar to a rogue. I don't like feeling like a warrior or a death knight or a demon hunter. I want to feel like what I was for 6 years, and that is being able to control my opponent. If I wanted to play a rogue, I would play a rogue, and Blizzard is basically forcing us to play something like a rogue because rogues still have their CC, sub-rogues for example. So I would love to see my CC, or specifically I would love to see old Windwalker come back. Whatever class, philosophy, class, fantasy they're doing, I don't like it. I would love to see it changed, but overall I will be silver lining here, and I will say that some of these talents look very interesting. I'll give them that, but I still just want, all I'm asking from 8.1 is paralysis 30 seconds, Fist of Fury, your main target gets stunned. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about these talents. Let me know what you would like to see, your own ideas, whatever you want to talk about in regards to Windwalker monks in the future here. Thanks as always, my friends, for watching, and I'll see you next time.